Yeah, she was
Claire,
early.
Happy New Year.
Well, she was supposed to be, and I spoke as I was driving in
Yes,
Okay.
I
yes,
spoke.
thank you.
Okay,
and told her
This is
to
it.
carry it.
okay.
And she's
It's the
That's
preliminary
you
design.
just do what you gotta do.
Still
to-
No, I got
Still
somebody
finishing
under the
it.
bookkeeping, good bits and pieces.
That's a ramp for the wheelchair to go up to, and that whole thing
Happy
has
New
its
Year.
contraption that you can swing it, and that's all pricing. Just, well, yeah, that's just the equipment. That's just the equipment for those pieces of equipment. Yeah, so I'm waiting on the installation right now. It'll probably run us about
Yeah, he seems, I said,
110 or
and
so.
the news is, and he
Because
said,
we're gonna put a
they're still
ramp
doing
from
that.
that one all the way down to the existing park down there, and then up to the street so that a wheelchair can come down, hit that, and then go all the way down to the other playground, and then we're gonna rehab the other playground as
Do an extra
well.
plan.
You look like you stepped out of the '60s.
I have.
Here?
Happy New Year. What is this? What? There we go.
How we doing?
New
Here.
Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
We had a CO call 3:20 this morning.
Oh, was it a real CO or a false CO?
Yes.
Where was it?
57 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, he sounded fine. He said they haven't found anything, but I'm gonna do one more set of tests.
Family dwelling.
Yeah.
That is the size.
Not fine for work.
No, of course.
And he sounded.
Oh, at least they had a CO detector.
Yeah, well, it was only going off on the one side. So, walk in the front and it's the one apartment, and then you walk in the back and it's the second apartment they don't have upstairs, and they're kind of like.
Because that's what English is.
And in the one apartment where the CO detector was going off, it was like, when you first got in there, it was 40 parts per million.
A little bit too high there, buddy.
35,
You get out.
35 and above, you need to be higher.
Yeah, you need to get out.
So when we went to the other side.
What was creeping?
Yeah, so they don't have it or?
There were 4 boilers in the basement. So 4
Okay,
heaters in the
and if
basement.
I filed it late, what's the?
So that each floor
Okay.
had its own.
It's possible,
So the
I mean,
first
it's
floor
quite
was
possible I
inside
filed it late.
the-
Oh, the
Right,
boiler.
so
Yeah,
call
at
him.
least do. Okay, they'll call Kevin?
Yeah, we got in there and turned off the gas right at the meeting.
What's going on?
What the
Yeah.
remedy is.
Took care of it.
All right, I will make a note to self.
So
Yeah, one of them wasn't working right.
now something.
I say some counts have
CNG got on speed and.
We only have
They'll
5.
start turning one by one.
Yeah,
and
going through.
reading them out.
My guess is,
Seeing which one's burning on.
I know I did it because it's always a pain
Yeah, I know.
to go through the thing.
When I went
And
to
then
the
it
store,
changes,
and
basically.
I forget my
it
pins.
was also.
So I know I sat.
I wrote it down
And it
somewhere.
wasn't going on?
And then one year I did it, and it didn't go.
Not good.
Not good.
The
How old
first year
was
I
it?
started
It's
doing
only
it,
good
that
for
was
5 years.
15.
No, well, they make 10-year.
The film was like-
Most people, the ones they have in their house are 5,
How do we
6,
know?
7, 8.
Yes, that it didn't go for.
2 years.
Yeah.
If it's received.
And
And what's the problem? They should send you a confirmation.
the hard part is that.
So the least they can do is send you.
A lot of people make mistakes.
No, so alright, let me see what I'm doing
And
here.
it should technically not
Which
be
way?
able to-
No, it doesn't, it's not like heat, it doesn't
This
rise.
is my opening
Gas,
statement.
gas is-
Wherever you left it.
Yeah, I
Used to
mean,
be
it'll
right
eventually
here.
get up top,
Yes.
but
It's under-
by the time it gets up top, you're down low. Yeah, I have them all over my house, but I also have these hiding in my alarms.
We had our spirit in here.
I have a dual, miner slash CO. So, and then they're all connected into my system, so if one goes off,
They all go all the way up. That's what I did, and then I have separate COs as well.
yes, I have one right by.
Is it in front of a man?
What are you looking for?
No, because I don't.
The opening hurrah.
Let me check Kevin's spot, 'cause he reads it at our meetings.
This meeting is being held according to
This
the public meeting
members'
act.
meetings.
I don't have it memorized, I need to read it.
It has been published in the Star Ledger, the Current News, and posted outside of
Here we
Borough
go.
Hall.
Here we
If
go.
any member feels that this meeting has been held in
Okay,
opposition
you want
of
my
the public
job?
meeting.
You want my job? You can have it.
So you gotta
Please
get
speak down, hearing done, moving on.
Please have it. Is that it?
This is the one that we use.
Okay.
It's
I mean, what is the meeting of today's, what's the
It's,
date? The
yeah,
11th.
11.
So, I actually had about an hour of sleep.
Nice. That's fun. Yeah, don't worry back to sleep. Everybody got out okay though? And
Yeah, no, we got everybody.
No
Harris partners.
Did
We got tablecloths and everything.
Did they call from
Yeah,
inside the
we work
outside?
here
When we got there, he was outside.
from, I guess it's no longer on the first.
How much time do we have, time for?
We've got 9 minutes. 8 minutes, sorry.
Reorganize
So with the attorney.
Well, nice to meet you. I didn't want to look.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to go through election members apparently.
To be able to drive.
Say it makes sense, but
Were you telling them?
Anything else I need to say? So I have to basically,
they'll think they died and went to heaven.
I'll run it.
okay.
Until it's
Sorry,
time.
it was,
But
I
now.
mean, it's still important.
It's gonna be, there's something gonna have to take over.
Vanderbilt.
Whoever.
But you're right. He-
Well, everybody outside, there's no danger.
One of us, so do you already
Yeah.
say,
Okay.
if you're doing a planning board,
Good, by the way.
it'll be wireless, so the applicant can use their laptop, it will be projected on the screen.
I have one.
There's like a lot of towns moved to that after COVID.
I just wasn't sure.
To me, it's so much better than taking time to pass things out.
Yeah.
I'd rather have enough people share.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I never tried with my kids once, but I tried.
Glad everybody was okay.
No.
Yeah.
Glad that they didn't go into the
He's
building
nine
and find,
months.
3 people in the basement.
The cost of doing it is Jason and I was. It's not good.
Oh, that was.
This is better.
It was nice having
I got started because I
just.
try to get in touch with
We're
everybody.
not from working, having
Yeah.
that smile.
I work with them.
Thank
And, something sounds like the family, but there was never a problem.
How's everything with you? Everybody healthy?
Don't ask why it's 8 after 14.
Well,
Relative.
relative.
Oh, this is the relative.
They wait a couple months and they do a celebration of life, a couple months later, we rented out the Elks for the last one. And, yeah.
I like to put
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
the family, easy closure, my dad passed from close to the lawn because they were just getting overwhelmed. And, so, it's only a month.
Is that this
One
one?
year. I says, "Oh."
Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry, how we doing today? Happy New Year.
So are we pushing this to the next meeting? So this one.
For you.
So we have to do a resolution to hire them.
Can't shake it?
Okay.
I don't have an accent. Just ask me.
Okay.
Me neither.
Okay, makes sense? Yes, got it.
Hello.
Great.
Kara, have you met Roger?
I have not.
All right.
Bernie's not here tonight. He's in the hospital, but doing okay. Where's your coffee?
Every time I go to Dunkin' Donuts, there's always some kids standing in front of me, wants to order ice cream.
Sure.
Don't you know how to order it on your phone, so it's.
John, you want coffee?
That's the
What?
part of the job, right?
The Diet Coke?
When we got married, we had our wedding.
Yeah, but it's being carried, mate.
Still printed it.
Oh, no, it was great.
Oh, you,
That was great. It was great for
that's
me.
the whole package.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's the,
It was great for me. Oh, we got a little break.
I think I've got most of
I
it.
got that.
Hey, what's up, Tim? Happy New Year.
That's it.
4 minutes.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I was hoping that that's.
I don't need more paper.
So.
She wasn't seeing
Thank you very much.
Having terms with them?
You can take it. Thank you.
You know, but it wasn't that way. So
Oh, it's there.
he was open to that.
You wouldn't do that. So I would say, yep, okay, yep, we'll do everything just to be safe, and then I can. Yeah, I just always say it's like. This is when we missed her.
I brought 4 cars over and I keep parking on the road. I'm looking, I'm like, who's coming here? I'm like, man, I'm looking at kind of stuff. I'm like, single parking, what other
Well, it was good.
Maybe school.
I had done.
I checked the last one by,
Somebody's fishing.
3 minutes.
About 5 times. They got it.
How do you feel about the first meeting? How do you feel about the first meeting?
I took on her, the last part was supposed to go inside.
I was the one who insisted on it when we first probably not had a meeting much longer than 30
And now
minutes.
it's
And then
almost 9
like,
o'clock. So
I got it.
you drive no killing
Live
it.
here, but someone has to wait till their house.
Joe, I think so. I know that's it had to go pick up this long.
That's just it, they all.
Really, and then I said,
So, I think.
I was so smart. 2 minutes.
Yeah, I've had a couple of incidents since then, yeah, I've been reading transcripts.
My wife says that's why she don't want to clean like that.
Just excuse me. I've told her that we're carrying.
Yes, I told you.
Cool.
We are covered.
As long as we're on the same page.
Oh, they can do that, okay.
I don't know about that. Let's not get crazy here. We're not covered in it so far.
See what I gotta put up?
On a daily basis.
Karen, do the carrying of the resolution first, in case somebody's here for it, or just? I mean, I don't think anybody is. I think we're probably all right. Okay.
Next meeting. The lady, so the email about the email. 1 minute.
Okay.
Minutes go very slow when you're counting them out.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how are you doing over there? I snuck in, I didn't even see you come in.
Stealth.
It cannot sneak.
Sneak in.
Stealth.
Really?
Sneak, no, I couldn't sneak if I tried.
15 seconds. You're good.
I will now open the public meeting session of the planning board. It's called to order in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting of January 11th, 2023 was included in the list of meetings published in the Courier News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting was also placed on the bulletin board at Borough Hall. In addition, a copy of this notice is available to the public, and a copy of the statement shall be included in the minutes of this meeting. Okay, we've got a lot on our agenda, but we'll get through it as quickly as possible. So we're going to have everybody sworn in again because we're not quite sure what the terms are at this point in time. And we do have some new people, so we figured we'll cover it all by swearing in everybody. So take it away.
Okay, everybody, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Deirdre Sinsky,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of member of the Borough of Somerville Planning Board
of the office of the Borough of Somerville Planning Board
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
And that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
Congratulations.
Welcome, everybody.
Congratulations.
Okay. So let's have a roll call of who is now sworn in. Chairman Novato advised he would be absent. Ms. Rosinski.
Here.
Mayor Sullivan.
Here.
Councilman Broom.
Here.
Ms. Adair.
Here.
Mr. Akins.
Here.
Mr. Crasta.
Here.
Mr. Carestis.
Here.
Mr. Cleveland.
Here.
Mr. Addis.
Here.
And Ms. Werner is absent.
And Bernie did want me to say he's very sorry he couldn't be here tonight. Obviously, it was last minute, but welcomes everybody back.
Yes.
And I'd like to introduce our council representative at the reorg meeting on the 3rd. Council has chosen Mr. Broom to represent them for this coming calendar year. So welcome, Mr. Broom, and welcome. The hardest working board in Somerset County.
Okay, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So this is our reorganization. So we are going to go through the nominations for chairperson. I need a motion for chair.
I would like to nominate Bernie Novato, even though he's not here.
I was,
Go ahead.
somebody can second it.
I think Art grabbed it.
So Art seconded, and when I did speak with Bernie earlier today, he did indicate that if he were nominated, that he would accept the nomination. Any other nominations? Hearing none, close the floor.
Ms. Rosinski.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Broom.
Yes.
Ms. Adair.
Yes.
Mr. Akins.
Yes.
Mr. Crasta.
Yes.
Mr. Carestis.
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland.
Yes.
Mr. Addis.
Yes.
Okay, vice chairperson, taking nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to nominate you, Jasinski.
Second.
You're quick today.
Yeah. You said I snuck in. Hey.
Hold it true.
Accept? I do accept, yes.
Ms. Rosinski.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Broom.
Yes.
Ms. Adair.
Yes.
Mr. Akins.
Yes.
Mr. Crasta.
Yes.
Mr. Carestis.
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland.
Yes.
Mr. Addis.
Yes.
Congratulations, Ms. Brzezinski.
Thank you.
And as a reminder, your appointment as vice chair qualifies you to serve on the Regional Center Partnership.
Yes.
And their first meeting is next Wednesday.
Oh, thanks for the heads up. Are they still zooming or are we in person these days?
I have no
Okay.
word either way.
Okay.
I know the intent is to go back in person, but I don't know if that's in place yet.
Okay, board secretary,
I'll
do
make
we have, so
Yep.
that's a permanent position now?
I'll make a
Okay.
motion
For
for
2 years.
Jasmine
Okay.
McCoy.
Okay, because I knew we were kind of,
Second.
any other nominations? Not, let's take a.
There's always the board's ability at some point in time if that changes,
Shift
but
it,
for right
okay.
now.
She is the official one, correct, I wasn't sure.
Ms. Rosinski.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Broom.
Yes.
Ms. Adair.
Yes.
Mr. Akins.
Yes.
Mr. Crasta.
Yes.
Mr. Carestis.
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland.
Yes.
Mr. Addis.
Yes.
Okay, board council,
Yeah, so I just had a question on this. Since there's the resolution, do we have to do the resolution before that then?
We don't usually list it. I mean, you can nominate and then subsequently do the resolution. Since we have resolutions there that have already been prepared, somebody can make a motion to adopt the resolution and we can kind of incorporate all
we'll
those
just do
into
it
one.
all at once. Okay.
Okay, and,
I'll nominate Kara Kaczynski.
And adopt the resolution,
and to adopt the resolution, all in one, correct?
okay.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was the motion?
Now,
Now,
And the second was Mr. Akins?
yes.
Ms. Rosinski?
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan?
Yes.
Councilman Broom?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Mr. Crasta?
yes.
Mr. Carestis?
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland?
Yes.
Mr. Addis?
Yes.
Congratulations, you're stuck.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you,
Okay,
everybody.
board planner and engineer,
I would like to nominate Mike Cole.
Second.
and along with the resolution.
I was gonna say with the resolution.
Congratulations.
Okay, so roll call vote on
Ms. Rosinski,
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Broom,
Yes.
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes. Sorry.
Mr. Crasta.
Yes.
Mr. Caresses,
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland,
Yes.
Mr. Addicks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're also going to, do a resolution for board and engineer number 2, which is CHA. So if someone wants to nominate those, we will.
Now, do we need, and so just another question here, do we need a resolution for that as well with their rates to be able to do that?
We will, yes. We can amend this resolution to incorporate them as well. We can do a separate one at the next meeting if you have questions with regard to rates and whether or not it's gonna be the same as last year. But
Because that's,
we do wanna put something definitive here. We didn't have that last year, so I think it makes sense.
All right, guys,
to adopt
wanted
the
to-
resolution.
you know, just for the record, both of these professionals kept their rates the same from last year,
And
so,
we don't know about CHA.
and we don't know,
So-
so that's my only question.
So we can actually just nominate them as the second and then do a resolution at the next meeting that agrees.
Based on-
Yeah,
But we don't have to agree to the resolution, even though we make them the second. If hypothetically speaking, I'm not saying they're doing this, if they came back in their proposal, it was $10,000 an hour, something stupidly absurd. We don't, because we vote on it tonight, we're not locked into approving that resolution, correct?
Why don't we just carry the whole thing?
okay, so we're
Yeah,
gonna
look,
carry
I just
that.
don't wanna get into a situation where
All
we're
right,
tied to
100%.
something we
All
can't.
right, so let's carry the resolution over to when we have actual prices.
Yeah.
Okay,
Carrie, do you need a motion on that?
Motion to carry, we don't have a motion.
Okay.
I
okay,
haven't raised the rates in a decade.
I appreciate that.
thank you.
Let me know when they start going the other way, like, yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Okay,
For both of you did, I did check.
scheduled meeting dates. Do we have a copy of that?
Yes.
Yeah, somewhere in our little,
January
Like the fourth page.
yeah.
It is the fourth page.
I'll move to approve
Other
them.
there. Does anybody have a problem with any of them? I think they're all basically the same as other years. And correct me if I'm wrong, the first meeting is definitely scheduled and the second one is technically only there if we need to meet a second time.
What?
Mike, sorry. I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe like the 2 meetings a month, and initially it was like the first meeting was
One's a
definite
workshop.
and the second one was if we needed it.
Yes.
Okay.
It
One
says
is a
it on the
workshop,
it's a
now,
workshop.
but the way we've been doing, we may do a change that we've been so busy that we've used those for
Okay.
applications, but technically one is a workshop.
Okay.
Or
Just wanted to clarify
meeting
that.
if needed.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So somebody moved it, I'm sorry.
I just-
Second.
Thank you.
The only thing I would amend on that resolution is I think the January date should be January 10 and 24, 2024.
That's
on
what it
the bottom.
says.
It says that.
At the end of
At the
the.
very bottom.
One did have that.
Ah, that's it, I have the old one. Perfect. All right, thank you.
Okay. Did we vote? Did we roll call on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Rosinski,
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Broom,
Yes.
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Mr. Cresta,
Yes.
Mr. Caresses,
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland,
Yes.
Mr. Addicks.
Yes.
Okay. Official newspapers, Courier News, and if needed, the Star Ledger.
So moved.
Seconded.
Second.
Ms. Rosinski,
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Broom,
Yes.
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Mr. Cresta,
Yes.
Mr. Caresses,
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland,
Yes.
Mr. Addicks.
Yes.
Okay. That business taken care of. We're going into the approval of the minutes from December 14th. Does anybody have any changes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Ms. Rosinski,
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Broom,
Abstain?
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Mr. Cresta,
Yes.
Mr. Caresses,
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland,
Yes.
Mr. Addicks.
I wasn't here on the 14th.
Okay. ARB consideration. So we received these in an email. I don't have any printed out copies of it. For, I think it's pronounced Sear Properties for 57 West Main Street. Oh, thank you very much. So it's the The chocolate shop? The chocolate shop?
Cigars.
Oh,
Six
cigars,
cigars.
The chocolate shop's down the other way. Does anybody have any comments, suggestions, objections to,
I'll move it.
I'll second.
okay? Roll call.
Ms. Rosinski?
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan?
Yes.
Councilman Broom?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Mr. Cresta?
Yes.
Mr. Prestes?
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland?
Yes.
Mr. Addicks?
Yes.
Okay, the resolution, the amending resolution number 2017-007P for 40 Haynes, we're gonna carry over to the next meeting. To be discussed. Mike just handed out a packet that's concerning that resolution, and he has kindly marked everything in blue and red where he finds that there are still issues. So if you take a look at it for the next meeting, it would be great. I don't know, Mike, if you wanna explain
It's
what's
just-
going on.
You guys got hard copies because it was late. I didn't get the email out to 3 o'clock or 2:30 or something. So I also printed it out because it's late. So just stuff that's for the board to consider, and I just met with Bobby Lynn and all this.
So can you just update everybody, so where the project is, because some of the people
Yeah, I
were
went-
here umpteen years ago when we actually started this whole project.
I went through the file, and there's a punch list of as-built survey, the stuff that need to be addressed. Then I met with John Maselli and Bob Lynn, fire marshal. And the fire marshal has violations on the facility, multiple, and an outstanding fine that's outstanding. So the next question is, so I know we were trying to bifurcate this and move this along to get it, the idea was to get a CO for the building. So John Maselli is saying to me that you cannot do a CO if there's outstanding violations and or penalties.
Okay.
So we have the penalties, well, basically fire marshal penalties and violations out there. The punch list I threw in here saying, if we're gonna do a performance guarantee, why don't we just try to put numbers on the punch list? If the board so chooses to go that way, to handle the punch list. You'll see the punches. I went out there did the site inspection. Most of the punch list items still seem to be outstanding.
Was I correct in reading they have a temporary CO now?
They have a TCO for the last couple of years. We have this notorious group pub still as a TCO. Sometimes the aesthetics never get done, so you can't get off the project, so they have a TCO. So the issue was the separating the playground from the building so that you get a CO. So we have a punch list, and I also met with Kevin about what the council did on the approval of the playground is concept only. So
It needs to be looked at for code.
I think so, but that, again, you'll see the comments on here. And
Mike, are you saying that the outstanding punch list items, when we come up with an amount for the bond that they're looking to do for the park, lump that in
I'm saying
there?
if the
Is that what
board,
you're saying?
we've never done that before, but if the board is so motivated to try to get this thing to a CO, the punch list has to be addressed. So if the punch list can't be addressed in a quick manner, the only other option is to, should the board want to go this direction, is to put a bond for the issues. As-built survey, some of the stuff I'm gonna have a hard time figuring out the bond amount, but I'm just saying it's an option if the board wanted to do that. Like, we had this with the Cobalt, there's, it appears to be some dumped refuse on the transit property. And it's just sitting there, anybody can go out there and look at it, so I don't, you know.
Okay.
So that's stuff for the board, I just printed the whole thing out. And I gave you an email of the deficit per Lisa Glock today, the deficit count
In
is,
the escrow.
and the escrow account is negative something.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, minus $2,000 or $3,000. So that's the email. You'll see the email. It's not me saying it. It's Lisa Glock, who's in finance. So I just gave you all the documentation I have, so you can look at it. I put arrows on the punch list of the things that still appear to be out versus which is been addressed.
Okay, and then we've got blue, which is your comments.
I put blue for my comments in italic, and the stuff I'm commenting to is in red.
Okay.
So I didn't touch your language. I might have a strike through, but your language is there. My comments are in blue.
Okay, got it.
And you'll see that, just, you know, for the board to consider or quote.
Okay. So, we're gonna assume this is, we don't know if we have anything on the 25th.
We have a concept hearing there is an applicant who might want to put a garage into the D1 zone. It faces the D1 parking lot.
Okay.
It's the Kelmer lot.
Oh, okay.
Very
Okay.
deep lot. There's no garage. It was used for horse carriages. Right across from the entrance in lot 1. But I think they're gonna come to us for a concept of putting some retail business, maybe separating that from the professional office building, which is on High Street.
Okay,
So we have a concept.
So we have, but we'll have time to do this also.
Yeah, just a concept, so you guys
Okay.
can float the concept and see what you like it or not.
All right, so this resolution is carried to the 25th then.
That's fine. I can get you the address, it's a High Street address, but I'm saying the garage, which is kissing the driveway to lot 1, is what they're trying to separate and make that into a retail boutique, so I understand. I'm gonna have a report for everyone, but it's just a concept to see what the board thinks about modifying the zone boundaries essentially.
Karen, going back to the resolution, has the applicant been notified of the deficiencies?
The applicant, we're still working out the language internally, so once we have the final internal language, then we'll show them.
They'll be
exactly
notified
what-
that it was carried.
Correct, absolutely, absolutely. They very well may know it already, since we haven't finalized the resolution and forwarded it to them for their approval. But we'll make sure that that happens and they're aware of the situation.
Because I'd like to have some closure to this, because again, as we discussed last time, they need the CO to get their permanent financing.
Yeah.
So the ball's in their court now to respond to this
You're right, man.
and make it whole and we
Right.
can proceed.
And if the administration would allow, I would like to do the review, but technically I can't do the review of the playground because the account's negative. I would like to do it, but I'll talk to Kevin about that.
Code review, yeah.
Just so you guys have that. I put some comments about whether it is code compliant and X, Y, and Z on this, but I haven't done a full review because.
And that, correct me if I'm wrong, that playground's gonna be turned over to Somerville Borough?
Yes.
So we would want it code compliant before we get it.
Yeah, we can't accept it if it's deficient.
I think it'd be beneficial if I could get that to the board for the
Yeah,
next meeting.
that would be
That's-
nice.
And I'll deal with Kevin to see if he'll allow that.
I
Okay.
think Megan's extra, so she should pay that anyway.
Yeah, we don't want to buy a used car.
Yeah, no. So they will have to come back for a subdivision, that's my understanding. So before they can dedicate that to the borough, they'll have to come back there, get a subdivision
Okay.
approved, and then, so you'll be able to see the.
Let's get it built before we deal with the
Understood.
subdivision.
Absolutely.
Okay, exciting stuff coming down the pipe. Items not on the agenda, we'll sort of discuss next meeting. Bernie is not here, but he is excited to have everybody here for another year and welcoming the new people. I'm not as eloquent as him when he speaks about his board, but I've been on the board not quite as long as Bernie. And I think it's one of the best boards around. We are knowledgeable and we do our best for the people coming in to see us and for the town, which I think is what we're really here for. So thank you for giving your time
Madam
and
Vice Chair,
energy.
if I could add, I've been reading the Courier News the last several weeks, and there are a lot of planning boards and zoning boards being highlighted with various, I won't say controversies, but starts and stops. There's a neighboring community that has paid for 8 redevelopment plans since the year 2004. And they're looking for another plan to start this year. It's just a testament to how hard we work and how thorough we are and how well advised we are. That we're creating projects, not writing plans. And I appreciate the veteran composition of this board, and I appreciate the hard work we all put into this, and the results speak for themselves. So, looking forward to an exciting, positive, and calm year.
Calm being.
Not well.
At least at this table.
I'm gonna open the meeting to the public for comments. Hearing none, close the meeting.
Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
if I may, is the board interested in going into executive session to discuss the Bridgewater matter
Oh,
and the
yes.
pending application, potential litigation?
So
So moved.
move to go into executive session.
Second. Are we gonna vote on anything after?
So we can vote in a second. We gotta vote in a second. We got Jason.
We're not gonna vote on anything. We are done with our agenda, so.
So we'll make that announcement. We're going to go into executive session to discuss potential litigation. We will not be making any decisions. We will not be taking any votes during executive session, and we will not be returning back to the public. We'll be closing the public portion.
I'll second the motion. Jason?
Okay. So we do a roll call.
Ms. Rosinski?
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan?
Yes.
Councilman Broom?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Mr. Presta?
Yes.
Mr. Carestis?
Yes.
Mr. Cleveland?
Yes.
Mr. Addicks?
Yes.
So the public portion of this meeting is now adjourned.
That seems like an invitation for me to leave.
Turn off this.